So I think we have enough participants here. Good evening to all. So today we are going to discuss about the ITSM tool. So Ram is going to take this session. So please be listen carefully and ask your questions if you have anything. Ram, over to you.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Good evening, everyone. So, as per said, today we are going to discuss about ITSM, some process areas. I'm just sharing my screen. Please let me know once it is visible. So, hope my screen is visible to everyone. Team, is my screen visible?
Yes, Ram.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So, what is ITSM? So, why we use ITSM here? Okay. So, ITSM stands for Information Technology Service Management, and the organization uses this to manage their IT services as per their requirements. Yeah. And this ITSM, today we are going to discuss about four process areas of ITSM, which is an incident management and service request management, problem management, and the change management. These are the four process areas we are discussing about today. So what is an incident? So incident means what? So it is a service which is interrupted with unplanned, any interruptions happen on the services which is already running in the organization. So will be called as an incident. It might be for example, it might be some Outlook is not working on us suddenly. The printer is not uh, able to print. You are not able to print any pages and XYZ. So in IT, how the requester comes to an IT team to get the service or support from a team. So if any incident happens, right? So they will reach out to IT in a different ways. It might be over the call, over the email, or it might be a different sources of reaching out an IT to raise a request. So one of the most important source majorly uses by a technician, requester sees email. So they quickly take some screenshot, they'll just post that in the support email address. As soon as the incident creates, what will happen? The support team will receive the ticket. They will look into the ticket and they will start analyzing the issue. So understanding the request, what is being raised. Okay. So, and then they will categorize the request. Here is the flow. I'll just let me play this. Okay. So once the incident is identified, the next step, the requester will log an incident, and next the technician will categorize that incident. There might be a printer issue or Outlook issue or hardware, any other hardware issues. Though they will just verify that incident request raised by a requester and analyze it and then categorize it to respective category. As soon as you categorize that incident, so if you have any different specific categorized support technicians are available, then it will be assigned to respective technicians or a group of technicians for analysis. So once the ticket is assigned to a technician, the technician will look into it and they will prioritize the issue based on the details given by a request. So they will do start an analysis of the request. If they have something solution already been available in the knowledge base, So they'll quickly share and revert back with a knowledge article to a requester saying that please follow these steps to resolve your incident issue. So if you don't have a KB article available at your solutions, so what they will do, they will investigate and they will take a remote or maybe on-desk support, whatever it is. So they will do support and they will mark that incident as resolved. If any information pending, in case of any information given by a requester is incomplete, you need some more information to analyze an issue, right? So you will revert back to a requester saying that please provide some more information. The workflow which is showing, right, at investigation phase, if any information is incomplete or pending to analyze and get this issue resolved, so you can revert back to a requester saying that please provide the information. That is an incident management. Incident means it is an unplanned interruption to an IT services in the organization. Any doubts, team, in the incident management? Before going to service request, I'm just explaining a sample flow here. This flow will be vary based on a customer requirements. The customers will give their own workflow. Okay, it's a sample workflow which I'm taken here to explain in the session. Okay, moving to service management. Service request management. What is service request management? Why will you service request management? Okay. A service request is means if any additional services required to a current service which is already running at your client mission or some other thing. Okay. Examples, you might be requesting for email configuration. So you may be requesting for additional keyboard or mouse, or you may be requesting for some additional softwares or upgrader or XYZ softwares which is required to you. So there might be a different request, a services you are requesting for is called a service. Okay. Additional services which you are requesting to add your activity. Example, I can say there might be, as I said, right? So there is a request which has come for hardware mouse. Okay. So if the request is received for a mouse, so what you will do? Okay. So there are some organizations which they follow the approval process for any service request. So here, this is keyboard or mouse, the basic components which we used to provide it to a requester. So there might be no approval required to provide a keyboard and mouse. In some cases, the requester is using for some licensed softwares, right? So where the requester is asking for. So for that, there might be approval process required. So before getting that software installed and assigned to requester, so you'll forward it to respective approver. It might be a reporting manager, department head, XYZ. So based on the configuration, we do it at a workflow. Okay, any new service is requested, so it goes for approval. So once the approval is given by a respective head or manager, so it will assign to a technician to perform the activity, assign the software and install the software at client mission. So until that, the SLA will be on hold because so the service is waiting for approval. So there is no activity or pending from a technician. So there is no SLA running on the request until it gets approved. So as soon as ticket get approved and assigned to a technician, here they applied SLA. The SLA has been started once the ticket is assigned. So here in the request, right, if you have multiple tasks inside the request, so you can also split that activities into multiple tasks assigned to a different team. You can distribute your work. Okay, generally this will be used when so multiple teams are involving in a service request. Just an example, there might be a new onboarding request comes from okay the new employee joining. So So the onboarding request is raised by HR or respective manager. Okay. So once the ticket is received, right, the information is given on the ticket. Now here we need to perform multiple activities. First most part is allocation of work days to a requester, the employee. So there might be a task 2, which is you need to assign telephone extension. So task 3, then you need to create an email. Task 4, you need to create Outlook. Maybe login of your PC, domain ID, and hardware. So all this, there might be a multiple tasks involved here and multiple teams involved to fulfill the request. So you can split that single request into multiple tasks assigned to respective groups to deliver the service. So once all the activities have been performed, you'll move the status as service delivered and fulfilled. Then the service request will be closed. Until that, the request is on the in progress. Team, any doubt on service request management workflows? So silence. Good to go to our next process area, which is problem management. Okay. So here's the problem. So what is the problem? What does it mean actually? Okay. The problem means whenever any incident occurs repeatedly, there are some cases the issue is repeating on a client mission, which occurs the same issue again repeating on a client mission. Okay. There might be not only on a client mission, there might be some incident which is reoccurring at servers, clients, in network, wherever it is. So you are resolved an incident. Okay, but here, so when incident is reoccurring, right? So you need to analyze the root cause here. To analyze the root cause of that issue, so what you will do? You will do report a problem record. So from the incident record. Okay. So when you identify any problem which is reoccurring, so you will create a problem record and assign to a respective team for analysis and identifying a root cause. So once the problem record is created, so what problem management team will check, right? So they will do check the impact of an issue. So what is the exact impact happening on the client side or server side with this problem reported? So what is the root cause of this issue? So they start analyzing the issue. What exactly the root cause of it? So what are the symptoms? So whenever the issue happens, right, the problem reports, what are the symptoms? So how you will identify the problem? Based on some uh, actions happening at the client mission, issues happening at the client mission, you will assume that there is a problem identified there, and you will put those symptoms in a problem record. So you will do verify the impact and root cause and symptoms of the issue in a problem record. Okay. This will be used at to provide a workaround or solution to a document. So if we have a right solution, right? So what you will do? We'll directly provide a solution. So not to reoccur that issue again on any of the uh, missions or client side or server side. Okay. So if you don't have a right solution available, what you will do? You will give us some play workaround to uh, requesters, and you will publish that document as knowledge base article, solution articles. So which will be helpful if any issue is reported, similar issue is reported by XYZ, right? We'll quickly share that solution provide workaround available at your knowledge base to provide a quick relief from the issue. Okay, so you'll provide a workaround. The problem side as well, you are identify the problem. So what next? Okay, you have a solution available. You identify the cause. For that cause, we have a fix available to perform some activities at different criteria, at different groups. So if you have a single team working on the problem to fix, then fine. You can directly work and assign to a respective group a technician to work on it and close it. Similarly, if I told you in the service request, right? If you have multiple teams involving to fix that issue or problem, so you can create a multiple tasks and assign to respective groups or technician to work on it and get this problem fixed. So if the problem is this problem reported is happening across the globe or respective group of members, which is impacting group of people or departments or organization, maybe locations, right? So what you will do, you have here, you can make an announcement to all the members. There is a issue or problem reported by so and so with the reason. So you have a workaround or solution available here. So don't get panic or get issue or something. So we have a solution or knowledge base available. So please go through it, or you can reach out to concern if requester can't do themselves, right, to fix that issue. So you can just make an announcement, reach out to a concern team locally to fix that problem. The problem record, we generally use some keywords. So one is workaround, unknown error, known error database, and solution available. So what is workaround? Workaround means which will provide immediately to relief from that issue, as I told, right? Solution is a permanent fix, which will provide and fix it. Okay. And known error. So known error in the database means you already have some issue reported by so and so that is already recorded in the knowledge base articles. Team, any doubts here in the problem management? Okay. So next we'll move to change management workflow. What is the change management? Okay. So why we'll use a change management organizations? Okay. So change management is a process, a life cycle which used to follow to do some changes planned, it might be an emergency change or a planned change. It might be a standard change. So there are different types of changes in change. Okay. So if you have a standard change, what does a standard change means? So why we use a standard change? Standard change is a pre-approved change. So in the change management flow, there are some process life cycle which you used to follow to get this activity done. Okay. So very at first stage, whenever the change request is created, right? So you have a top of 5 options here to evaluate that change request. Okay. One, the first most part, you need to prioritize the change and what priority you need to implement and work on this change. So what is the risk? So where does it impact? What is the impact level of this change? And so what are the associate incidents or problems related to a change? So associate incidents or problems means, so when it comes to a change management, in some cases, if any issue comes, right? So the issues which we have discussed earlier, right? The issue incident may require some change. There might be a simple issue requested by a requester. So during analysis, we found that there is a issue which we need to apply and a server side at a global impact. There will be a global impact on that. So you need to apply that for many of the client machines or servers. So they from referring to a client ticket, the incident ticket, you create a change request with reference to incident. Similarly for problem, as we discussed, right? So if the problem, if we have a solution identified, there might be changes required at server level to fix that problem. There may be a network, for example. So if you have some network related DHCP issue or a DNS issue, some XYZ is similar related to a server or firewall or network side. So where you need to do a changes on a production. So you can't do a changes on a production directly without creating a change management, change request. So here is we involve a change management. So that's where you can relate your incidents or problem records to a change request. So with reference to those, you are implementing the change. And then you will schedule that. So when you are going to do these changes. So after that, so you will do a planning here. So in the planning stage, this is the planning stage. The very first stage is evaluation stage. You are just evaluating the change. So what needs to be done, what is and what priority, what is the risk, impact, and all the analysis you will do. At next level, the planning, how you are going to execute the change. Okay. So what is the rollout plan? So how we are going to roll the steps which you need to document that here. And what is the backup plan in case of failure? So how you are going to revert back the existing changes or restore your configurations to a previous, not to impact, okay, the current services which is running. So you will prepare some kind of checklist and how you are going to roll out and back out. Post this, so you are sharing that all these documents to the next level, that is a cab over here. So to execute, to apply a change on a production. So here there is approvals required here. So here approvals is a cab and change manager. So what is a cab? So we'll take a cab recommendations here. Cab means a change advisory board. There is a team nominated at the organization to implement any kind of IT services. They have a team available called cab. So if any changes happening in the production, so that will go to a cab members, change advisory board members. So they will analyze all the risk and impact analysis, all the reports you prepared and documented in the change. Then they will check the risk also. So then they will give a go ahead permission to do a change. So if they found something which is impacting more, there will be a risk more involved here. So they may ask you to change this. So is there any necessary changes required? Is there any other way where you can implement without impacting, without taking the service down? So if it, maybe during some change applying, right, you may need the server down, maybe some services down, maybe network you need to take out. I mean, switch off the or restart the firewall or network switch, core switch. So which will impact the network in the organization, right? And services to others. So where they may ask you to do some changes, or maybe they may ask you to schedule an offline or holidays. Maybe they will recommend anything. So whatever the recommendations they feel better to do this change, they will do a recommendations for a change. They will go back to a planning phase and do necessary changes as per the recommendations, and then it will again comes to a cab for approval. So here they will again verify all the documentations which are applied. Then it will move to a change manager for approval to implement the change. As soon as cab and change manager approves this, so we'll take this from cab's approval stage to implementation phase. At implementation phase, if we have multiple tasks or activities involved, multiple teams are involved, multiple technicians are involved, you can create a multiple tasks created and assign to respective group or technicians to work on and to implement this change. Once all the activities have been performed, so you can take that for a review. This is post implementation review. So which is so once all the activities completed, right? This activity and performed by technicians will be reported in a document. So what are all activities, what are the checklist verification they are done. So they will report all that checklist they have performed, right, in the document. So that will be reviewed by a review manager in the review phase. Once the review is done with all the services verified and running fine, then they will take it to a closer, which is end. Any doubts, team? These are the four process areas which to cover today. So if you have any doubts related to incident, a service request, problem, or change, you can raise your queries.
So thank you, Ram, for your information. So guys, any questions?
Thank you, Bhaskar. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share a knowledge. Team, if you have any doubts, not only at this moment, if you have any doubts at any moment in the ITSM related to our configurations, workflows, and our tools which used to use service desk plus or trust service, so you can reach out to me. So I'm available to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you all for joining the call. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you everyone for joining.